an official position paper endorsed, signed by the National Chairman of Labour Party, Barrister Julius Abure, and the National Secretary of Labour Party, Alhaji Umar Farouk Ibrahim. I'm only presenting. It has become necessary to call this press conference to state the Labour Party's position as it relates to the Supreme Court judgment due to the deliberate misrepresentation of facts about the judgment in some quarters. Secondly, we notice an attempt to blackmail INEC into taking wrong decisions, and that is why it has become imperative for me and for the party to put the record straight and put the issues into the proper perspective. The judgment as given by Supreme Court actually validated the convention of this party held in 2024. So I read the text. The position of Labour Party, after critically reviewing the Supreme Court judgment delivered on the 4th of April, 2025, and states as follows. 1, the Supreme Court, contrary to speculations, actually reaffirmed the National Convention of the party held on the 27th of March 2024 at Nnewi, where it stated thus: the reason for the non-justiciability of internal disputes of a political party is simple, and that is that in the eyes of the law, a political party is a corporate entity with its constitution, rules, regulations, and guidelines, which are binding on all members who, having joined freely, have consented to be so bound. See Abagunde versus Ondo State House of Assembly and others, 2015. Number 2, the internal affairs of a political party can be defined as matters, situations in which only the political party, to the exclusion of others, can make decisions. It means that the constitution of the party must hold sway and be followed in all matters. Flowing from the above, the Constitution has created organs which makes decisions for the party. Such organs are the National Working Committee, the National Executive Council, NEC, and the National Convention. The Constitution has equally spelled out the functions of these organs. Number 3, accordingly, in line with the internal mechanisms of the party, the current NWC of the party was elected on the 27th of March 2024 in a national convention. Number 4, the Supreme Court admonished the party members to respect the constitution of the party when it stated thus, quote Supreme Court, political parties have put in place diverse kinds of internal dispute resolution mechanisms to handle any matter arising from disputes among them. Political parties and their members should therefore have faith in the internal dispute resolution mechanisms prescribed in their party constitution. Having subscribed to the membership of a political party, a member of a political party has, by his membership, agreed to be bound by the Constitution and the decision of the party contained in its guidelines. So the politicians must comply with the provisions of the party constitution on how disputes over the internal affairs of the party can be resolved in keeping with the legal doctrine that internal affairs of a political party are non-justiciable and therefore not subject to the judicial powers of the court. Intermittently, we'll bring out some of these points from the Supreme Court judgment to adumbrate on the outcome or the decision of the Supreme Court, indicating that crisis in the political party must be resolved within the political party in line with the laws and the constitution of a political party. Anything outside that is not, is not permitted, and that is why it is said that it is not within the powers of the court to decide on what happens in the political party. Supreme Court brought it out here explicitly. I agree entirely with the above. Political parties must learn to adhere to their constitutions and guidelines and the conduct of their domestic affairs. Consequently, we admonish Alex Otti, the governor of Abia State, and Peter Obi, former presidential candidates for our party in 2023 general elections, who are the protagonists of the current division in the party, to hear the Supreme Court loud and clear. Number 5, prior to the National Convention, the party fulfilled all legal requirements to hold a valid National Convention in line with the party constitution, Electoral Act, and 1999 Constitution. For the avoidance of that, Article 14(2)(b) of the party constitution provides, shall cause to be issued notices of meetings of the National Convention, National Executive Council, the National Working Committee, in consultation with the National Chairman. Section 82, subsection 1 of the Electoral Act 2022 provides, every registered political party shall give the Commission at least 21 days of notice of any convention, congress, conference, or meeting convened for the purpose of merger and electing members of its Executive Council, other governing bodies, or nominating candidates of any elective offices specified under this Act. Point to be noted here, must give INEC 21 days of notice before taking up any of such meetings, as convened by the National Secretary in agreement with the National Chairman of the political party. I think it goes across all the political parties. Again, in Section 82, verse 2A of the Electoral Act 2022 also provides, the Commission may, with or without prior notice to the political party, attend and observe any convention, congress, conference, or meeting which is convened by a political party for the purpose of electing members of its executive committees of other governing bodies. Article 1, Section 1, subsection 3 of INEC Regulations and Guidelines for Political Party Operatives provides, the National Chairman and the National Secretary of the party shall sign the notice of meetings, conventions, or congresses and submit same to the Commission. In line with the above, an INEC directive, notices for the National Convention was issued on the 4th of December 2023. Subsequent notices for change of date and venue were also given on the 14th of March, as well as 21st of March 2024, respectively. The convention was held on the 27th of March 2024. This is why we have consistently stated that there was no vacuum in leadership of the party. Tenure did not expire before new convention was held. We are happy that the Supreme Court has vindicated us by reminding us all and sundry that issues relating to the leadership of the political party is a domestic affair. Okoro JSA stated it clearly as follows. Before I am done, may I admonish political parties and their members to endeavor to always allow their constitutions, their rules, regulations, and guidelines to guide them in choosing their officers as well as candidates. That way, incessant internal rifts, which always find their way to court, will be reduced. 6. The Supreme Court did not, I repeat, underline, did not set aside the matter between Labour Party and Chief Ebiseni and 2 others, decided on the 13th of November 2024, wherein it was admitted by the parties that Julius Abure is the national chairman of the party. That decision was never appealed against and was never reviewed by the Apex Court. 7. For the benefit of those who may not have followed the trajectory of this leadership, we hereby state inter alia, A, the subsisting principal officers of the party first came into office through the National Executive Council, NEC, held on the 29th of March 2021 in Benin. The NEC became expedient to fill the vacancy created by the demise of Alhaji A.A. Salam of blessed memory. The NEC elected Barrister Julius Abure as the national chairman to complete the tenure of Alhaji A.A. Salam, which was supposed to run until 9th of June 2023. However, the NEC, during its validly held meeting of 18th of April 2023, considered it inauspicious to hold a national convention before June of that month, and therefore extended the tenure of the National Working Committee for 12 months. At that meeting, almost all the national leaders, including our presidential candidate, was at the meeting. Most of the elected members, then they have not been sworn in, most of them were there. The TUC was there, the NLC was also there, represented by the secretary, Barrister Ubaja. All agreed to give 1 year for the NWC to conduct another convention. And you will recall one of the reasons given was because we were just coming out of the election, general election, and we were going through one tribunal or the other. So it will not be possible at that point in time to begin to talk about convention. So we are given 1 year. And that 1 year was to expire on June 2024. Maybe we'll get to that. Following the directive of the NEC, the notice for the conduct of the 2024 National Convention was given to the INEC on the 4th of December 2023. Subsequent notices for the change of date and venue were adequately given to the Commission accordingly. For some people that are still trying not to understand, the party leadership gave more than 3 months as against 21 days requested by law. We gave more than 3 months of notice to INEC before the convention held. And you also, as I said earlier, the tenure of the government, the leadership, was to expire on June 2024. And this convention that we're talking about held in April. I think maybe I'll come to that in April 2024. So we still have so many months. So it was held within, I think it was held on March 27th. I'm sorry about that. March 27th. So we are still within the time because 1 year was given. And we are still within that 1 year. The 1 year was to expire in June 2024. And the convention was held in 27th of March 2024 for some people that are claiming that the tenure of this leadership has expired. I wonder where they are getting that. Under the Labour Party 2019 Constitution, the tenure of office of ward, local government and state officers were 3 years only. Please note that. 3 years only, while the national officers has always been 4 years. State congresses were every 3 years, while national convention is every 4 years. State congresses from the world, local government, and state hold every 3 years, while the national convention holds every 4 years. Delegates from each state to the 2024 National Convention were elected at these congresses. While their 3 years were expiring, we elect, the Congress will hold and they elect delegates that were supposed to go and vote for the convention the following year, because their own was 3 years. Their own, according to the Constitution, is to be 3 years, while the NWC is 4 years. So while they are doing their congresses, they also elect the delegates for that convention. The next meeting, which held in Asaba on 20th of March 2024, ratified the list of delegates elected from the 36 states and the FCT to participate in the National Convention, along with other members of the National Convention list in the party's Constitution, Article 13(1). And if you go to the party Constitution, in Article 13(1), you will see people that are qualified to be at the convention. The holding of National Convention on the 27th of March 2024 is the decision of the NEC, which is responsible for the overall administration and organization of the party. The National Convention, which held on that 27th of March 2024, was generally peaceful and in line with the party's 2019 Constitution, the guidelines of the party, the Electoral Act of 2022. The convention, the same convention, was chaired by Governor Alex Otti, ably represented by his deputy engineer Ikechukwu Emeto. It will please you to note that virtually every member of the executive of Abia State Government, including the elected state officers, were all present at that convention. INEC has related with leadership led by Barrister Julius Abure, National Chairman, and Alhaji Umaru Ibrahim, National Secretary, based on the new tenure created at the National Convention held on the 27th of March 2024. The evidences are there. For instance, by a letter dated 28th of June, how many months after the convention? 28th of June 2024, INEC invited the Labour Party for inspection of sensitive election materials for the Edo State and Ondo State governorship for that 2024 election. And Barrister Julius Abure honored the invitation issued by INEC to inspect the sensitive election materials for the conduct of Edo State and Ondo State governorship 2024 election at the national headquarters of INEC by being present at the inspection of the said materials. That was in June. June 28th. Remember, according to some persons, our tenure expired in June 9th. But up to June 28th, INEC was still liaising with the leadership of the party as led by Julius Abure. Equally, INEC wrote the party under the leadership of Barrister Julius Abure as national chairman in a letter dated 21st of August 2024 with reference number INEC LDC PP 24T148. August, is it 7 or 8 months? 8. Good. 21st of August. Letter is with us, addressing the Labour Party through our national chairman, Barrister Julius Abure. The party approached the court in a suit number FHC ABJCS 127/2024, filed on the 29th of August 2024, challenging INEC's failure to provide it with notice of refresher training for upload of political party agents for Ondo state governorship election. Like I said, on the 21st, INEC still wrote to our party, to Julius Abure. But on the 29th, just barely a week after, there were going to be refresher training for agents in the Ondo and the Ondo state governorship election. INEC did not write to us. We are talking about August, but they were corresponding with us from the day we had our convention until the alleged date of the termination of our, on the 9th of June. We are corresponding with us all through the month of July until August. The people that you said are no longer in government, are no longer the leadership. So we went to court, and by so doing, denying the party's IT staff access to the training and access code provided to other political parties for the Ondo State Governorship 2024 election, even though INEC had earlier on 28 June 2024 issued the party a notice for inspection of sensitive election materials for Edo and Ondo governorship election. The party's action was solely against INEC. Solely, we went to court against INEC alone. To the party's utter dismay, one Senator Esther Nenadi Usman and another applied to be joined as interested parties, and their defense to the party's case was that at an expanded stakeholders meeting of the Labour Party held on 4th September 2024 in Abia State, a 29-member caretaker committee was set up under their leadership as chairman and secretary of the committee, respectively. No evidence was led that INEC was notified of the meeting. Before you can hold any national meeting, you must notify INEC. But these people converged on their own, or what we have seen described as a jamboree, political jamboree in Omoyele. Illegal meeting. The party constitution is very clear on how a meeting of that magnitude will hold. One, the national secretary must raise it with the national chairman, after which the meeting will be convened. But no such thing happened there. According to the party's constitution, only the party's National Executive Council have powers to establish ad hoc and standing committees of the party and appoint members of such committees. Article 13, Section 2B, subsection 12 of the party constitution, you will find out the powers of the NEC. At no time whatsoever did the NEC of the party give notice to INEC for the appointment of, nor appointing any national caretaker committee. No organ of the party is known as a expanded stakeholders meeting. Furthermore, no NEC meeting of the party held on the 1st September 2024 in Abia State or any other place, and no notice of such was given to INEC. So it was just mere a jamboree. Even though the two lower courts asserted their lack of jurisdiction to delve into the leadership of a political party, they, however, confirmed the validity of the 2024 National Convention of the party. Conclusively, the National Working Committee, elected on the 27th of March 2024 by our party internal machinery, as stated by the Supreme Court, is in place. Let no one live in fool's paradise. Thank you. Signed, Barrister Julius Abure, National Chairman, Alhaji Omar Farouk Ibrahim, National Secretary. So, gentlemen of the press, it is just to please wait. It is just for us because we have kept reading up to yesterday about some narratives that are clearly against the party, clearly speaking against what the Supreme Court said. The Supreme Court has not at any time said that Julius Abure is no longer the national chairman of the Labour Party. The Supreme Court mainly said that the decisions of the lower courts recognizing Abure was taken out of context because they lacked the jurisdiction to even comment on internal affairs, that no court in Nigeria can comment on the internal affairs of the party because of the jurisdiction. No court, including the Supreme Court. So the Supreme Court couldn't have said that the parties have no jurisdiction and go ahead and say, and begin to talk about the leadership of a party. It was very clear. It simply asked the parties or the people that are agitating to go back to the party constitution and obey the party constitution, through which all the crises that the party has all levels of mechanisms to deal with the crisis in its political party. And it's a very simple, unambiguous statement, pronouncement by the Supreme Court. So some people went and started dancing all over the street, going to INEC and say that there is no way, if you have taken time to read the judgment, there is no place anywhere that the Supreme Court says arrogated themselves the power to decide on internal issues of the party, internal affairs of the party. It simply says, parties, go back home and look into your constitution. There are enough laws, there are enough procedures in your constitution to take care of any crisis that may emerge from the party. It was very clear. And there is no other place in the judgment that says that one Nnamdi Usman has been recognized as the authentic leader of the Labour Party. So I don't even know where they are getting this excitement about. So we have taken time, we have called them on several occasions. Now, it is very clear what the Supreme Court has said. Come back home, let us see how we can put our family together so we can move forward. Because the matter terminates at the Supreme Court. It can't go any other place again. And the Supreme Court is very clear. So that is what I took out time to read this because some of my colleagues have continued to give